We, the jury, find the defendant Eddie Ray Routh guilty of the felony offense of capital murder as charged.
The American sniper killer sentenced to life in prison without parole. But did the success of the movie and publicity of the case impact the jury's decision? Here to debate it, defense attorney Rebecca Rose Woodland and criminal defense attorney and former prosecutor Robert Bianchi. Thank you both for joining us here at Fox and Friends. Big day here with this verdict. How much of a role did the film play into it? Rebecca, I'll start with you.
Now, I mean, I have to say, I don't think a lot. I think that this man was loved in the community. He was known in the community. Did the film enhance that? Maybe, but he was already known there. And I don't think that it really affected it. The facts in the case are very clear-cut. It's not as if the jury had a lot of room to say, well, maybe this, maybe... No, these were very clear-cut facts here. I mean, this man went and killed these two men at close range, in a gun range, and admitted it. It's not, there wasn't a lot here that could really influence them. The film, well, everyone knew about him anyway.
So let me ask you this, Bob, because it's $430 million that the film grossed. I mean, crushing all records right here in its class. Nominated for 6 Oscars. You say, did it have a role?
Listen, absolutely not. And I'm going to tell you, as far as a legal opinion is concerned, this will have no effect on appeal. The judges are very specific when they do voir dire the jurors, where they ask them questions that even if you know the film, even if you know the case, will you put aside what you know and only go on what's on the evidence in the case? If the jurors individually say they will, it is presumed under the law that that's exactly what they did. So even if those jurors and the publicity had some sort of effect in the court of public opinion, we have confidence, and the law presumes those jurors did exactly what the judge said. Do it on the facts, do it on the law. And I typically, in all the years that I've tried cases and homicide cases, as a prosecutor, as a defense attorney, have found the jurors have actually followed that instruction. Unless there's some evidence to the contrary, no reversal of this case. I agree. The evidence was solid from the beginning. This was not an easy insanity defense for the defense. They did the best job they could. But in the end of the day, the appellate courts will say the evidence was overwhelming in support of the jurors' verdict.
The time in which the jury came back with their decision and the verdict, were you surprised?
I wasn't. I really wasn't in this case. I mean, when we see cases often, we try cases, you get a sense of it, even when you're watching from outside and you're watching in someone else's case. I got a sense that there was nothing here. They put on one expert for the insanity defense. I mean, was he insane legally? No. Jurors can't be fooled. Jurors are regular people who take their job very seriously, and I agree that, you know, a jury will come in and say, I'll do what the judge tells me. I'll put that aside, and I'll listen to the facts and the evidence. And here, there wasn't much more to do.
Yeah. Bob, you say the evidence was clear.
Yeah, and something that was very damning for the defense in this particular case is that their defense expert actually admitted, and this is what prosecutors do all the time when they cross-examine defense experts. He admitted the facts that were given to him by the defendant were inaccurate. And if they're inaccurate, remember, the defense has to prove the case by clear and convincing evidence. That was a death knell to their defense.
Great. Bob and Rebecca, thank you so much for joining me here.